right, welcome to the 2006 Mississauga Marathon Friendship Run, featuring our very own John Stanton. So, everybody, it looks like we got a lot of people out. Probably a lot of you running this weekend. Hopefully, some that are just coming out to watch either tonight or tomorrow. We've got, what, the 5 and 10K tonight and the half and the full tomorrow morning. So, for anybody that's running or walking in these in the events, good luck. Hope you have a good one. We'll see you, for anyone Sunday, we'll see you down here at the 5K to the finish. You need a little extra, you want a special drink, just let me know. We'll set you up. I know the all right. So I guess at that 38 or 16K mark, you might need a little special something, but we'll just talk after. Anybody that's official, just plug yours. You didn't hear
Good to see so many smiling faces out this morning, and certainly I want to thank Steve and all the group leaders. I've talked to some of the group leaders and clinic instructors, and this is for many of you is a journey that you've gone through, and this weekend is a real celebration. It's a celebration of your training, and it's a celebration of a lot of things. But I do want to thank the group leaders and the clinic instructor, because they're the people that help along the way in taking some of the anxiety away from our training. They're the people that sort of kick us in the butt when we need to get out there. And they're the people that create that sense of community. Our running groups and our walking groups are creating a real sense of community at a time in the world when we need that sense of community. And I think all of you have discovered that.
We're here at the Port Credit Running Room store with the Running Room founder, John Stanton. John, you do a lot of friendship runs, and I tell you, I've never seen such a scenic one as this morning. How did these things get started?
Well, Jenny, before each big marathon, people are always concerned. There's that nervous anxiety as we prepare for our marathon or half marathon or whatever event it is. And what we've discovered is that if you can get people together, they get around other runners, they discover that they're not the only people that are a little bit nervous, and they get out and all of a sudden they can enjoy the run, they relax, they sleep better at night, and the next thing you know, they're having a really good day out there. And it's like I reminded people, often we start a running program because of the goal of the marathon, but so often the reason we continue to run is the joy we get from running and the joy we get from meeting these great new friends.
And I noticed this morning when you were giving people a little bit of a pep talk, you got quite a few laughs out of people. So I really noticed some people relaxing.
Well, that's it. And we need to, we don't want to take ourselves too serious. We want to be, this is a serious event, the marathon, but at the same time, it's a joyful event too. It's a celebration of our good health and our fitness. It's a time to reflect and say, I'm so fortunate to have the good health that I can do this and undertake it. So enjoy it. Enjoy all aspects of it. Enjoy the volunteers that are out on the course, and enjoy the finish line, enjoy the start line. As you're running along and there's a little kids cheering you on, wave back to them, because that's what makes the event so much fun. Is if we ran the marathon distance by ourselves, it'd be a pretty dull event. What makes it exciting is all the people that are both running it and all the people that are supporting us along the way.
Well, one of the things I've noticed is you travel a lot and you get around to a lot of these marathons and a lot of these friendship runs. Any idea about how many you might have done?
How many marathons? Well, marathons, I've run 60 marathons. The friendship runs, because I'm at them nearly every week, I do, in friendship runs, I do about 40 of these a year that I'm at different events. So for me, I get to meet a lot of nice friends, and I meet them all across America, both in Canada and the U.S. I get to do these, and it's a joy. There's nothing like the camaraderie of runners, and the great part, it doesn't matter whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Minnesota, whether you're wherever you are, runners are a nice group of people that share in the same values. So it's great to be out there.
We sure are, and not only that, you're getting a training run in while you're at it, aren't you?
Well, that's right. We work up a little bit of a sweat, and then we can go have that guilt-free muffin or bagel and just relax and get ready for the big event.
Yeah, you got to start a little carbo loading ahead of time, huh?
That's right. That's the best part. Is that I like the taper and the carbo loading, because that's the fun part. That's the time that says this is good. The only thing that sort of exceeds that is when we get to wear that medal around after.
And John, one other thing I wanted to mention is you have a new book out, and I took a look at it and enjoyed quite a few things about it, not the least of which was you've got training schedules for different distances, 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, and you've got them both in miles and kilometers. Tell us what inspired you to bring these schedules to all of us.
Well, the reason the schedule is most people need the structure and they need discipline around their training. The other thing is often, with some of the running books that are out there, they tell people how far to run, but they don't explain the intensity that they should be running at. And if you notice in my new book, what I tried to make sure that people know that if they're doing a tempo run, I tell them what pace they should be running. If they're doing a fartlek run, I tell them what pace. If they're doing their long, slow runs, I tell them what pace they're going to be running. And that pace is in relationship to what they're trying to achieve in the marathon or in the 10K or in the half marathon. I found after coaching literally hundreds of thousands of runners, the number one mistake we do is we do our long runs too fast. We don't do enough hill and strength workouts, and we don't do the speed. And the reason we don't do speed or hills is sometimes we're too fatigued because we did our long runs too fast. So if you get people to slow their long runs down, if you get them to think specificity of training, which means specifically training for each event, then they will really excel. And when people get into the structure of a program, then they get on and they really exceed and excel at it. Today, you get people who like to think in kilometers because of the 10K is such a popular event, and they need to understand if they need to think of it in 10K pacing or if they need to think of it in mile pacing. And those of us who have been around for a while, I like miles, but I know that a lot of young people today like to think in kilometers.
And it makes a difference in terms of which side of the border you're on, because some of us think better one way or the other, but it's true that almost all runners can think in kilometers because we all deal with 10Ks.
That's right, and that running is kind of a confused sport. I kind of chuckle when when I'm in America, we're running the 10K is still one of the more popular events, and yet we go through a 10K and the first split they give you is at 1 mile, and you kind of go, wait a second. So I think all of us kind of understand a little bit about both, but it is true. People want to have the structure around it, and that's I think what the book does. And when you read the book, you see that it's also encouraging, that we encourage people that whatever their ability level, whatever their age, running is an all-inviting sport that we invite everybody to come out and enjoy the benefits that you get from running. And it doesn't matter how old you are, what shape or size you are, you can do it.
One of the things I liked about your book was all the sort of war stories of people at the back, quotes of people who'd been through a clinic or read one of your books or done one of your training programs, and they really had a lot of things to say about how much it inspired them and affected them as they went about their training.
Well, that's right, and I call that warm fuzzies. That's the nice feelings we get when we read those stories. But I can also tell you, I was telling the folks here this morning at the Friendship Run, is that often we continue our exercise because of the nice people we meet, because of the goals we've achieved. But it is life-changing. It changes everything in our lives. As we become more athletic, we learn to set goals, we learn to attain those goals, and if we don't, we learn to come back and train again and take another shot at it. And that helps us in life. That helps us in our personal life. That helps us in our professional life. And it helps us in our community activities that we're doing.
It sure does. Thanks very much for talking with us on this beautiful morning.
Great, Jenny. Great time. Nice to see a friend at a Friendship Run.